Mioskon. Yeah, that's the name of the dive site we're going to look at today. So welcome back everyone, and this is another video in my series Discover Raja Ampat. As per usual, if you new on this site, very welcome, and if you're going to look at the links in the comment section below, I've got a link to the playlist where you can go and see all the previous videos that I've uploaded. But let's get to the dive site, Mioskon. Now, this dive site is also located in central Raja Ampat, actually not too far from Waisai and very close to Cape Cree. And this island itself, obviously the name is Mioskon, but it's also known as Bat Island because of all the massive amount of huge fruit bats that we can find here. Let's look at the dive map. As you can see, the whole area, well, there's a very big shallow plateau, coral plateau area, and with a gentle slope, not going very deep, maybe 25 meters. And in this bend, that is normally where we jump in, and then we descend from there. One thing to note is that this dive site doesn't have crystal clear visibility in comparison with all the rest of the dive site here in Raja Ampat. It's not too bad, but sometimes it get down to maybe around 8 meters, but usually it's about 10 to 15 meters, so it's not too bad. And the water also tends to be a little bit green. But anyway, nonetheless, there's still a lot to see here. As you go down the slope of this of the reef, with the reef on your right hand side, you can get to the sandy area where you very often find quite a few blue spotted stingrays swimming around. On the reef itself, again, a huge amount of fish, but the prizes over here is wobbegongs. There's quite often that we can find quite a few wobbegongs, and the tiniest pygmy seahorse. I can't remember the name now. I maybe include a picture, just a photograph of the pygmy seahorse, because there's no ways I'll be able to record such a small thing with a GoPro. The reef is quite beautiful. There are areas where it tends to look like it's quite destroyed. Don't know what caused that. It's definitely not dynamite fishing, because there are some corals alive between all the rubble. And also, normally we don't get any strong currents over here. If you get strong currents, just drift with the current. It's not like the current's going to take you anywhere. I've floated halfway around the island before, so it's not a problem if there's strong current. But normally, not a strong current and a lot to explore. Lots of little things to see. Ghost pipe fish I found here, loads of different types of nudibranchs, and if you've got a very keen eye, you might find these tiny little pygmy seahorses. And for the night dives, like I said, this dive site is also good for nighttime diving. Night dive, you can go down to the sandy bottom because it's not too deep, find maybe even more wobbegongs. But in the shallow water where you want to spend a lot of time during the day too, in the shallow water here, there's a lot of fish for some reason in the shallows over here. And because of there's a lot of fish, there's a lot of fish hunting too. You might quite often find quite a few juvenile blacktip reef sharks, giant trevallies that hunt here. And if you dive here at night, very likely that you will find the Raja Ampat walking shark over here. But yeah, that's about for the dive map. Let's go see what it looks like underwater. Actually, no, again, I almost forgot something. A very cool thing to see over here on this dive site is the yellow snappers, the schooling yellow snappers. It's really cool how they swim. It almost looks like something out of the Matrix. And again, if you go nice and slow, they tend to come to you sometimes. I don't know if they see you as, if you approach nice and slow, that they see you as maybe a piece of floating debris and shelter that makes bubbles constantly. But you'll see in this video that some of the divers, they get really close to these snappers. Really cool thing to see. That's enough. Let's go have a look what it looks like underwater. My name is Jan, and welcome to my world. So guys, that was Mioskon. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear if you've dived there and what was your experience. In the next dive site, we're going to stay here in central Raja Ampat, and this dive site is not the most spectacular dive site. The first time I went there is because we had a big long surface interval, and we decided that we saw a few boats there. It's like, oh, what's that? And I got one of the guys on the boat, not even a diver, he told me about the site, and I said, well, okay, let's go and have a look. And it turns out quite a good dive site. We've done that quite a few times after this. But yeah, if you want to know what the dive site is called, you remember to subscribe, and I will tell you in the next video. Until then, take care.